Welcome. My name is Scott Ruddolph, chef instructor for the Collins College of Hospitality Management at Cal Poly Pomona. Today we're going to fabricate chicken to the national standards for Pro Start. It's quite simple. The first thing you need is a nice, clean, stabilized cutting board. You're going to need a nice, sharp, bony knife. It's the only knife you're going to need. You're going to need a tray, a hotel pan with ice and plastic wrap to present your chicken. And probably the most important thing you're going to need, of course, is your chicken. When selecting a chicken, get a nice, fresh one if you can. No obvious dark spots, no marks. Make sure it's clean of feathers and everything. Nice and plump. It's easy to tell a good chicken. Then what you're going to want to do, of course, if there's giblets inside, go ahead and remove those. Save them for another application or throw them away, your choice. Second of all, you're going to want to wash the chicken, and then you're going to want to dry it so it's nice and dry so it's easy to handle and safe to handle. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove our wings. Okay? It kind of gets things out of our way. It's a little easier to work with the chicken that way. You're going to take your knife. You're going to go. The good thing about a chicken, it kind of tells you how it wants to be cut. Right here, you'll see the first joint and then the second joint. There's a flap of skin. It's quite easy. You're going to cut that flap of skin just to the chicken side of that joint. Then you're going to take your hands, simply pop it open, and expose the joint there. It's beautiful. And then all you got to do, cut the wing off. All right? That goes on your ice. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other leg. Excuse me, the other wing. Gravity's kind of your friend here. Feel free to let it help you out. Here's the flap, second joint, just to the body side of the wing of the joint. Crack it, expose the joint there, remove the wing. Next, we're going to want to remove the thighs. It's kind of neat. Chickens really do beg you to cut them in a certain way. If you can see right here on the thigh, there is a line of fat between the thigh and the breast. That's where we're going to want to start a cut. Get your knife in there, cut it. You'll see it opens up perfectly, shows you where it wants to be cut. Now on the backbone of the chicken, there's two balls of meat called the oyster. It's a sign of ability to be able to take the thigh off with the oyster complete. I'll be honest with you, I don't always get it. I need to practice more, so you need to practice this. It's right here, you can feel them, but you'll be able to see them as well. Cut the chicken. Shows you where it wants to be cut. Right there, we know there's our oyster. We're going to go in with the tip of our knife. We're going to get that oyster out. Perfect. Right underneath. We're going to cut along. Remember, it shows you, there's the joint. It shows you exactly where it wants to be cut. And cut through. Remove the thigh with the oyster attached. You can see where it came out of that little joint right there. Beautiful. We do the exact same thing on the other leg. Chicken shows you where it wants to be cut. Gravity's your friend. Let the chicken help you. Go right along. We know where our oyster is. It's right there where the other one was. We're going to open it up, go in, get our oyster, cut along the backbone, through the joint, remove our leg and our thigh. Beautiful. Remember, it's important when you're cutting on a chicken that if you hit something and your knife sticks, you're hitting bone. Your knife doesn't cut bone, it cuts cartilage. So if you have to stop and rearrange it, feel free. Now, we all like the wishbone at Thanksgiving. The wishbone's right up here in front. It's really easy to find. It's attached right here and then goes down just like that. You might want to clean this up just a little bit. And you want to find your wishbone. The reason we're taking the wishbone out is because it helps when we remove the breast from the carcass. You're going to find it right here, cut on each side. You'll be able to get your fingers underneath it. There's the wishbone right there. You're going to take your knife, cut straight down there, cut straight down the other side of the wishbone. To free it up, you're going to grab the wishbone, and you're going to go ahead and take it off at the cartilage on top. Sometimes it comes out whole, sometimes it doesn't. Doesn't matter, we're not going to use it for anything anyway. Might need a little help from your knife. There it is right there. There's one part. And right here is the second part. Might have to use your knife a little bit. Get it out. There's your wishbone. Now it's going to be much easier to remove the breasts. That leaves our whole carcass now. I want to maybe trim it up just a little bit. Get some of that skin off of there. Right along the backbone. And of course, this is the breast. This is what we want. This is the backbone. It's quite easy to tell. So often I see people roast these. They roast them on the breast instead of the breast side up. It's really easy to tell. You can also run your finger right down the center, and you'll feel cartilage right there. And that cartilage is what we call the keel bone. It looks like the keel of a boat. All right? Take the chicken, turn it sideways, find your keel bone, cut down one side of that bone. You can tell, you can feel it right there. There's the keel bone. Take the tip of your knife and go ahead and cut right along that keel bone, right down along the ribs. And at that point, you're going to find the joint and feel free to cut straight through the joint. You have a lovely, lovely wing-on chicken breast. You're going to do the same on the other side, right down the keel bone, using your knife, right down the rib cage. Right through the joint. Remember, the knife only cuts cartilage, not bone. And there's another lovely wing-on chicken breast. Now, if for some reason there's a lot of meat left on here, which if you remove the wing correctly, if you make that cut below the joint, the bone should pop out. If for some reason there's a lot of meat left on there, just use your knife, scrape down, and get the bone nice and clean. That becomes our airline chicken breast. Wonderful for banquets, wonderful for restaurant service. That leaves us with the carcass, which you're going to display as well. That needs to be on ice. Next, we need to deal with our leg and our thighs. The first cut you're going to do is you're going to separate the leg from the thigh, and it's quite easy to do. Take the thigh and use your hand and just stretch it a little bit. You're going to see a line of fat right here. That's where you're going to cut. Straight through the cartilage. Perfect. Leg and the thigh. So once you have the leg and thigh separated, you're going to want to remove the thigh bone from each of the thighs. It's simple to do. Simply go down the bone with the tip of your knife, exposing the bone. Open it up. Run your finger under the bone. Take your knife. Simply cut there. Scrape down the bone until you see the knuckle, exposing it. Cut straight around. Remove the bone. So you have a boneless thigh, the bone, and the drumstick. You're going to want to do that for both legs. So here we have the fabricated chicken displayed the way that the judges are going to want to see it during competition. So what the judges are going to want to see are your 6 cuts. The 2 breasts, the 2 thighs, the 2 drumsticks, and then they're also going to want to see the 2 wingtips, the carcass, and any extra bones and fat and skin that you've taken off. Completes your demo for today. Remember, the chicken tells you where it wants to be cut. Don't be intimidated. The judges want to see confidence. They want to see your skill. They want to see your knowledge and your understanding. Practice always helps. You've got to practice a lot. And remember, the most important thing is have fun.